Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mie Prefecture, welcome back to Suzuka Circuit. We're here again for round 4 of the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan Qualifiers. It's the Mie Super Prix at Suzuka. We've already completed Split A, now let's talk about Split B. But before we get proceedings underway, let's take a look into the track map of what Suzuka looks like. Again, we apologize for the slightly incorrect dates for the stream, but all the other points are correct. 5.8 kilometers making Suzuka the longest active ARO racetrack in ARO competitions to use in both Hololive GT3 Japan and Formula Hololive Japan. 18 corners in total, 44 laps for a total of 250 kilometers of race distance. That is because it's a Super Prix and not a Grand Prix. Target lap time, we might look at a 1:38.863, but looking at the Split A times, we might not be able to get the target lap times after all. And also, we also want to mention to you all that this is the qualifiers round 4, as in it's round 4 Formula Hololive Japan qualifiers, and while we already have decided the champion in Split A, Split B is still wide open for everyone to have their hands on. It's, as we mentioned, the first of 2 races at Suzuka. Well, you can interpret it as the first of 2 rounds at Suzuka, or first of 2 races, but whatever the case is, I think we mostly meant first of 2 rounds, and it's also what I was going to be talking about, it's the fact that it's the penultimate round of qualifiers of the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan qualifier season before we head to Sugo this June to fully decide on the remaining 18 drivers who will also have a spot in the Tsuyo Cup. So anyways, let's take a look at the spotters guide for Split B. There's not much changes here. We have, of course, mostly unchanged lineup from last round. Hofumi, Muhammad Cashew, Kizaru Leo, they represent Sora, Watame, and Shion respectively. Kyota Asano continues to represent Minato Aqua, but he will hope that he would want to have some revival in his campaign for Minato Aqua. Jeff Rohan is looking stronger than ever for Toa. There's Goyena for Pecora, Ed Sky for Iroha. Sobyang will want to try to get himself back up for Shinoi Flare. Jake Goodwin is inside the Tsuyo Cup spot alongside Mawashita Reza, the reigning champion of the Formula Hololive Japan. Sakaji Mikolev represents Sakura Miko. He is also going to be aiming for something big. Daniel Barger for Hoshimachi Suisei. He's currently outside the Tsuyo Cup spots, but with a 7th place finish last time out at Tsukuba, things might be looking up for him. Maverick UCM for Polka, Rim Olga for Subaru, Yu Chaeyeon for Takaya Loi, and we have Shaki Reza for Momzo Nene, and Ari Nakamura rounds up the 17-car field for Kaihato. Apologies for the intermission part, but anyways, let's take a look back into the standing for both splits. Just wanted to check you all on the standings for both splits. Apologies if there has been some slight disconnections in the stream. But anyways, let's take a look here. Well, you can look at Split B, Split A, but we won't be talking about that. Split B will currently sees Yu Chaeyeon lead Momosha Reza by around 70 points in the Split B standings. And then we also have Maverick DCM 3rd for Polka after he received his win in the Tsukuba Super Prix. Sky continues his consistent run for Iroha. He now sits 4th. Rim Olga has yet to score a point after he won the Sepang Grand Prix Split B race. Daniel Goyena, Sakaji Mikola, and Jake Goodwin all are chasing. Jake Goodwin 8th for Okamimio. He currently sits 8th. Sobyang-eun 9th for Shinoi Flare, and the only thing keeping Irina Nakamura inside the Tsuyo Cup spot is currently the fact that she had a 3rd place finish in the Capture the Moment Grand Prix race, the Split B race. Jeff Rohan and Kizaru Leo are tied on points, but Jeff Rohan wins the tiebreaker by having a favorable position first, and or him actually having a high position than Kizaru Leo. Hofumi sits 13th, and then Barger sits 14th, despite both Sora and Suisei having more attention on the right uniform, so that is not looking good. Same goes for Kizaru Leo for Murasaki Shion, as does Mamakashi for Sonamaki Watame. And here Tasana for Minato Aqua, currently 17th. And then we also have Mamashaki Reza for Momosu Nene. These are the drivers who are currently in the Zako spots. So anyways, we're gonna get on to the qualifying stream, and I would like to introduce all of us here. I'm Mama and Reza, and actually there's no us. I'm still the only guy in the commentary booth, so you can just bear with me here as I'm just gonna try to work myself with what I got. So anyways, we're getting this qualifying session finally underway, and we're looking at a few drivers who are currently coming out, and that is Sakaiji Mikolev, currently out on track, but hang on, just wanted to adjust on something. Anyways, we're back. We now have Sakaiji Mikolev out on track for Sakura Miko, number 35. To mention here, he's currently having a pretty okay season for the Miko P. Currently inside the Tsuyo Cup spot, but it feels like he could take another gear at his charge for his place in the Tsuyo Cup. His last one in the Aero competition is, of course, the Autopolis 400. That was from last season. He won the Hololive 3 race for Sakura Miko. Currently, he's yet to win a Formula Hololive race for Sakura Miko. Looks like Ryu Cheon, Mohamed and Reza currently out there. These are the top two in the current Split B championship. If Cheon does finish very, very well and her title rivals fall by the wayside, then she will be the one who wins the Split B title with one race to go. The Shaka Reza for Mimosa and all that stuff. Just wanted to check around. And there's already Shaka Reza. He scored the pole in the Tsukuba Super Prix, but nothing has come of it as he basically bottled his chances by having an unfavorable strategy, unfortunately. But that's life. So anyway, let's take a look into Daniel Barger, also representing one of the most hottest shot members in Hololive. So you see the diamond in the rough, but still very amazing. Anyway, let's start the lap here in Suzuka. First, you navigate through Casio Triangle, and also you want to try to get the best launch off of the Casio Triangle. And that is where you want to start your lap here in Suzuka. You have about 600 kilometers of the main straight for that 700. And you can see here in the middle, turn 1, you're quite flat, but right before you enter turn 2, but you have to brake. So that's one way to get some time. And then here's the SS. You wanted to, like we mentioned before, you have to treat this corner as one section, one corner. Make sure you have some sort of momentum going. And then here's a Dunlop. Here's a slight braking to make sure you're still in there. It's very easy to understeer here in Dunlop. And here's Stegner. Brake at 50-meter board, slight dab on the brakes, keep yourself on track. Downshift to third at the second part. And now coming into the hairpin, you can see here, slight right first before hugging the racing line to the hairpin. Missed apex just a bit. And now he's on the road to Spoon. You can see here, use the runoff area and the exit rows as reference here. You can want to hug his sideline as much as you can, but I would prefer if he tries to have a wider line at the second part of Spoon to get a very good launch here. The back straight coming into 130R, 116.791 for Daniel Barger in the second sector. Looking very good, this man. Break at a 100-meter board, right at the Casio Triangle, just right before the billboard. Navigated the Casio Triangle well, and that should be his lap at Suzuka. 139.983 for Barger. Asano with a good lap, 139.862 at Sky. 139.159 for the Kazamai Roha representative. He looks to be very, very feisty here. Kizaru Leo also turning up the style. He currently is in second place for Murasaki Shion. Now here's a top 5 that we might be more familiar with, at least for anyone who is very much accustomed to Hololive. We got Kazama Iroha's car on pole, and then followed by Shion's, and then Miko's. And Towa's now is currently in 4th, as Jeff Rohan now is in 4th. Hayuta Asano is now in 5th place for him to revive his chances to get into the Tsuyo Cup. Daniel Barger was inside the top 5, but he's now inside 6. So we're going to be paying attention to Daniel Barger just a bit more as a lot of people have been focusing on Suisei. Meanwhile, we have Mohamed Cashew now up in 4th place for Tsunamaki Watame. A very, very good lap here for Watame representative on what has otherwise been a pretty lackluster season up to this point. Jake Wood is now up into 5th place for Kamimiyo too. Kamimiyo also one of the many Hololive members who have completely focused their attention, completely shifted their focus onto the bright uniforms. And we're looking at some of the results come into fruition in a sense. Meanwhile, Hofumi currently down in 17. If he doesn't pick up the pace where his rivals have actually did, he might actually have a not so good chance of qualifying in the Tsuyo Cup. I mean, sure, he qualified in the Tsuyo series for Hololive GT3, but that's Hololive GT3. This is Formula Hololive. The main focus for at least 2/3 of Hololive in Hololive Japan. And we have the reigning race winner who won the Tsukuba Super Race Split B race a month prior. He's now down in 16th. Olgor is not looking to continue his good run of form. He's now down in 15th. Cheon, the championship leader, is now in 14th. Nakamura 13th, Goyena 12th, Shazran Reza, the 2023 champion, is now in 11th. Shazran Reza, we're on board with the number 31 car. He's currently trying to find something here, trying to find some lap times. And he's currently trying to cross through to the second set of timing beam, and it's not looking good. 1.1 seconds below Ed Sky's time. And speaking of Ed Sky, it's been very, very amazing so far. And now coming into 130R and the Casio Triangle. Here is and we also get to see Ed Sky coming into the pit lane right now. And also, speaking of other drivers trying to find something, because Riley is not going to be finding anything since he's going to be behind Maverick Duciem. But that being said, Duciem is now up into 13th place. And Duciem has to think about Isekai Mikalev. And that should be his lap done for, at least for this one. And as Mikalev is going to try to get himself closer to pole position. He's now currently in 3rd place. Although many eyes are on Daniel Barger right now. He's already had a 7th place to fall back on in Tsukuba. But I feel like for a lot of us watching, Barger could take another step forward for Suisei. I mean, you're talking about Diamond in the Rough. You're talking about one of the most potent Hololive members out there, one of the most popular ones. She's got millions of dedicated Hoshiomis who are at the ready to support Suisei. Daniel Barger is of course one of them, and wants to prove himself that he is the best Hoshiomi in the aero competitions, because as far as seat security goes, Barger actually isn't that secure in the Suisei ride, because Hofumi is also listed as the Hoshiomi, and who just so happens to be a Soratomo. So Barger, in an attempt for him to get himself a point to prove, he should try to at the very least get up there. And right now he is doing okay. His previous lap before this was good enough for 6th, and that should be enough for a 3rd row start. I'm not sure who has made their pit stop. One is Danilo Goyena, and then we have Yuta Asano. Eskai has already got out of the track once again with fresh tires and, you know, a fast car. There's every chance that Ed Sky can actually beat the lap time targets that have been set. Looking at Jeff Rohan currently in 8th place, Goyena in 9th, Shakib Reza 10th. First time in Formula Hololive this season where Shazam Reza is able to compete with his brother, at the very least in the first portion of the season, because everyone got to race each other in the second half in 2023. Now I might be hearing questions about what about regloss and Advent. Now Advent is going to be a topic for another day. We will explain to you the update, explain to you all the updates on that later. But for regloss, it's very likely that we will implement regloss cars in the Suzuka Cup, as they didn't really take part in the qualifiers to prove themselves that they should be made available in the Tsuyo Cup. So this is our next available equivalent. So you can see here. Anyways, back on to current lap affairs. Shakif Reza is currently setting a second of a lap slow already in the first two sectors, so not looking good for Shakif. We are now coming into the final 5 minutes of this qualifying session, and right now it's Shadran Reza currently in 9th place, the defending champion. He's currently on a season where he's just chilling, like not really wanting to get himself into trouble much, as he's already won when he needed to win. Of course, as far as lap times go, Jeff Rohan, the 139.324 for the member of the Tokuyami Kensoku, he's currently going to be sharing the front row with Ed Sky, which still puts Barker in 6th, but let's not talk about that too much. Mama Cashew doing very well finally for Sonomaki Watame. He's going to try to turn the season around. Lots of drivers who are in the Suzuka Cup spots are currently inside the top 10. Yuta Sano 8th. Yuta Sano is in 8th. Daniel Barger 6th. Cashew 5th. Mikolev, not Mikolev. Kizuhara Leo is in 3rd. This guy's gonna continue on his consistent performance, as he will be set to continue his run of form that sees him currently 4th in Formula Hololive Japan Split B standings. Here's Maverick Duciem on board the number 46 Omar Polka car, which Duciem has already scored a win for Polk. Hang on. Why is it lapless? Why did we just notice this now? Excuse me. So we're going to have a red flag on this session to try to correct the car order. So apologies if we have to do this. So just wanted to check on this. Just wanted to modify this on why is DCM currently in. And also we want to adjust the time taken for qualifying. We're gonna need to adjust on something a bit. So we're gonna have a short red flag session to correct the situation here. And looking at the qualifying, we are going to reduce the time to 5 minutes of qualifying, and unfortunately due to this red flag session, every time has to be reset. So the running order is going to change, at least as far as fastest drivers in qualifying. Again, apologies if we have to do this. We need to make sure everyone has the correct colors, and apparently we haven't noticed this in time. So again, this is what happens when one man has to do everything, so bear with us here. So anyways, we're getting this session back underway again. We apologize for the delay and the fact that the times have been reset. Hopefully is now the first driver to come out, Shakif Reza as well. Everyone's going to be trying to come out at the same time due to limited amounts of time here in Suzuka. Just need to get a bit of a break here as the drivers are slowly making their way to the racetrack. I just wanted to shift the cameras. Right now we are looking at about 6 to 7 to 8 drivers already coming out. S guy's going to be hoping that he has that similar pace that he's had throughout the first parts of qualifying. And then we have Jeff Rohan. Just want to check around the current situation here. Here's Cheon, currently here. UCM is already out, so let's take a look at Maverick UCM here, and now we can finally see Maverick UCM in true Omar Polka color. So again, apologies to the affected parties. So right now we have Hofumi who's about to set his lap. More drivers coming out, so Fumi needs to make sure he times his run absolutely correctly. Some of the drivers might only have one chance of actually making this lap done. So Hofumi is going to start his lap right now in the midst of him being stuck with other drivers, and this is not looking good. Fumi's going to be stuck behind Isakaiji Mikolev. And so we also have Daniel Barger though, currently unimpeded. He's got acres of space in front. So let's see where Daniel Barger can go with this first, second and final sectors. Oh, very agile there on the S's there, although he's also trying to warm up the tires, so he might have 2 chances to get this lap done. Coming into first sector timing beam, which is right before, or is that in the middle of, oh yeah, right before Degner. 36.060 for the 2026 driver, and he's currently pushing forward. As you can see here, does very well, and this time he is closer to the apex, so he manages to, I believe, carry a lot more minimum speed at the hairpin, and as such can get a better exit off of that hairpin. Daniel Barger still has Spoon to deal with, and well, Dance uses enough space to get the most out of the grip on that car, and now Barger still needs to get a good lap time. It's not faster than we thought. 117.703. Other drivers could set a 116. So this might be a bit of a concern right now, because Barger needs this round, needs to perform on this round in order to properly get himself a proper platform into the Tsuyo Cup. 140.765. That's not gonna be a cause for excitement, as he's currently not going to be set to get a good amount of lap time. Kizaru Leo is about to finish his run. 141.681 for Leo. While my Cashew might actually surprise us, as he currently sets provisional pole for Watame. So Byung-eun is showing a decent amount of pace. He now sets provisional pole 139.882 for the Shiranui Flare driver. Ed Sky is going to try to continue on his good performance from the qualifying session before it got red flagged. But I don't think it might be enough, because I don't think he might be able to find some pace. He's now down in 5th. Jeff Rohan and Mamashita Reza next to cross the line. We got the driver representing Tokyo Mitoa and the driver representing Himimori Luna, both of them representing Gen 4 members. Jeff Rohan 141.620, 146.43 for Mamashita Reza. He's now currently displaced. He's now displaced Barger. Olgar now in 2nd place. He's finally found that bit of spark. Maverick DCM for Omar Polka. 4-4 DCM. Yu Cheon next to cross the line. As the timer finally sets to 0, this is your last chance to start the lap, and that last chance has passed. Yu Cheon will start no higher than 9th. Jake Goodwin, 12th. Daniel Goyena, 12th. Ari Nakamura only good enough for 14th. Mikolev 8th. Hofumi 11th, as Asano is in to 8th. Shakireza 7th. Daniel Barger is going to be finding some improvements, hopefully, but he's only good enough for 6th. Kizaru Leo, who had been inside the top 5, is now down in 14th place with not much lap time improvements. but maybe this is the lap that he might be sealing it. So Mama Cashew is not going to be continuing his run in the pits at the moment. Apologies for the slight silence because can't have nice things where I am at right now. Anyways, at Sky, Jeff Rohan, Shadow Reza, Rim Olgo, and Ducian will be the last drivers to cross the line. Sky is not going to improve. Jeff Rohan is gonna try something. Bumps Kizar Leo down. He's now in 13th. Jeff Rohan, Rim Olgo, and Shadow Reza said that's enough for us. And as for Maverick DuCM, it's not going to be the case. He will continue. And that should be it. No improvements from any driver anymore. And there's a bit of confirmation. The pole sitter is actually So Byung-eun for Shiranui Flair. Very, very interesting here. We set a lap time of 1:39.719 to start off the basically get on the qualifying session. So we have the Shiranui Flair number 20 currently on the pole position to start this race. Haven't seen this much success for Shiranui Flair since 2022 when it was only the original uniform, when it was only Hololive GT3. So let's take a look into the starting lineup then for the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka. So Byung-eun will have the best seat in the house as he will start on pole position for, as we mentioned, Flair. And second place is, of course, the driver who had been up front in the Malaysia Sepang Grand Prix Split B race. He is looking to score points again for Ozura Subaru. Wamakachu scores his best ever qualifying session for Sonomaki Watame in third. And then we have Omar Polka driver Maverick DuCM looking to try to make it a double for him. He's currently qualified for. That's when Plaza Mashtaf started actually. Mimura Luna driver Momashita Reza starts 5th. Daniel Barrier for Oshimachi Suisei starts 6th. Shaki Reza starts 7th for Momosu Tsunene. And we have Hyuta Sano for Minato Aqua in 8th. Isekai Jimikawa starts 9th alongside Sky 10 for Kazumai Roha. Sky's gotta be very, very frustrated about the fact that there was a red flag. Tokinasora driver Hofumi starts 11th alongside Yu Cheon 12th for Takani Louis. Jeff Ron starts 13th for Tokiyami Toa alongside Kisora Leo 14th for Murasaki Shion. Daniel Goyena 15th for Pecora and Jake Goodwin 16th for Mio. Ari Nakamura will be the last driver to start this race. She will start dead last for Akai Hato. So, just wanted to check on the current situation of drivers. So Byung-eun, very, very deserved pole position here on a day where the performance must be carried over, and as such, we have So Byung-eun finally trying to deliver as he is quite down on the Tsuyo, quite down below the Tsuyo. So if he can continue on this performance, then it will be very, very nice for him. So anyways, let's get this race properly underway. It's the Mia Super Prix right now, and we have So Byung-eun starting on pole position alongside Rim Olgo in second. The lights are on, and the race finally gets underway. 44 laps, and that was quite aggressive from Momashita Reza. Slammed into Daniel Barger, and that should be Momashita Reza out before he's even crossed the line. Absolute tragedy for the 2023 champion, but that's not going to be the one we're going to be really talking about, as DuCM is going to try to wrestle position away from Hamad Cashew. Around the inside goes DuCM at the final parts of the S's, but at Dunlop it's going to be Cashew with a slight advantage, but both of them are still neck and neck. Oh, they both make contact! This is the aggression that we might want to look for. This is the aggression that some of the fans might want to look out for, as other drivers are still single file. What not for these two, Cashew and DuCM. Shadoreza is of course the first retirement on this race. He's not going to be set to continue any further. Rim Olgor leads the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka. So Byung-eun second, DuCM third, still fighting with Cashew in fourth. Varger is now up into 5th place, Asano 6th, Saki Freza 7th, and Sky 8th, Cheon 9th, Mikolev into rounds out the top 10. And with the rest of the cars following, Cashew and UCM are still on a battle between each other. This time it's Cashew who manages to seal the overtake. Absolute heartbreak for the Lunites and Himori Luna, as Shazan Reza was involved in an accident quite early on in the race. It's not, they didn't even cross the line, and Shazan Reza was involved in an accident. Okay, so there's going to be a bit of a kerfuffle going on with Rim Olgor currently in the lead. Young in 2nd, Cashew 3rd, DCM 4th. So we're going to be taking a look into the race film monitor and the next lap to see what's going to be the pit stop strategies for the remaining drivers in this race. Right now, there's nothing much to report here except Yu Cheon having to get close there to Ed Sky. But of course, nothing is coming out of it between Cheon and Sky. Obviously, these drivers represent the 2 Hololive members that are trying to get themselves on. Cheon currently piling on the pressure on Sky, but not to the levels of Jeff Rohan against Ho Fu-mi. Fu-mi is gonna at least try to get something at least, because he knows that he's representing Tokyo Sora, the OG Hololive member, and right now it's not working to his plans, and this would mean that Fu-mi is, as it stands right now, he will have a worse chance of qualifying for the Tsuyo Cup at this rate. But now with Rim Olgor, and now Muhammad Cashew setting the fastest lap of the race, 140.425 for the Maldivian driver. Rim Olgor is controlling this race at the moment, but the gap is only 0.6 of a second. So let's take a look into the race monitor as we've already passed the first sections, and as you can see here, it's a pretty interesting strategy. First pit stops will be in around lap 11, and the later pit stops will be at around lap 17 to 18. So there's a difference in pit stop strategies this time by for the set drivers, and let's see where it leads to. Olgor still leads. Gonna see if there's any overtaking moves done, particularly from Cheon chasing on Sky. Just wanted to report if there's anything available here. For all of you who's watching in the chat, for all of you who is watching the stream, please comment in the live chat, especially if you are Japanese. Right now we really are trying to find a Japanese commentator, but right now we still haven't been able to find one who's up to the task. So if anyone can help fill in the role, that will be very much appreciated. Here's Cheon trying to pile on the pressure again onto Ed Sky. She's got some pace. She might be able to make a move and overtake down into turtle 1, but she's too far back. There's a better chance for these drivers to make any potential moves. Anyways, back onto the current situations here in Tsukuba, we're still looking at Cheon. Cheon, of course, is still representing, still here for Takane Loichi. He's set to also represent Shuri Novella, if I'm not mistaken, in the 2024 Formula Hololive International, at least for the final 2 rounds of the season. It's rumored that she will be representing Shuri Novella alongside some of the other JP class cars and some other drivers who will be filling in. Now, to my knowledge, there's also the likes of bespoke drivers who will be participating in, how do we say this, who will be participating, Hololive admin members. We're looking at some fresh new entrants who will be representing the 4 Moko cars in Formula Hololive International. We'll have to wait and see how it will go. Right now, there's not much changes in the overtaking scene, except probably So Byung-eun and Rim Olgor, so we might want to take a look in this one. There might be some feisty fights here between two extremely two extremely good drivers in good form, probably except for So Byung-eun, because he hasn't had the best results, especially in the last 2 races. Byung-eun is still quite far away from Rim Olgor, as he's still trying to find something against the likes of Olgor right now, and right now Olgor is holding absolutely steadily. And now coming into the main straight. Cheon now sets the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:42.58, and you can see here Mykolaiv is also getting closer to Sky, but as we mentioned here in the previous stream, Suzuka is all technical, and there's not much main straight for you to properly secure an overtake, so it's going to be pretty difficult for drivers to secure positions through overtaking moves alone. They might have to think about strategy as well. And looking at the first driver who will be coming to pits, Yu Cheon, So Byung-eun, and Yuta Sano alongside Daniel Barger, they will be the first drivers to commit. But as we've seen multiple times before here in Tsukuba, in Suzuka, especially in this Split A race, where they essentially made their undercut moves there, it didn't really work. And it eventually worked against them, as the drivers who did the overcut are the ones who managed to have the advantage due to them spending less time in the pit lanes, due to them not having to feel as much. Mykolaiv though is on the hunt for Sky's position, and this time Mykolaiv is very, very close there. Will Mykolaiv actually think of a move down the inside? He's actually peeling down the inside of Sky, but Mykolaiv has to think otherwise. He's probably seen Kamina Riba and Johan Sinful tangling in yesterday's race, and thinks to himself, okay, this is not right, I might have to back off. We still have about 3/4 of this race that we need to deal with. Anyways, back into the scene here, and unfortunately, there's still no movement here between Mikolev and Leo and Sky. The positions inside 9th to 11th still have yet to change. There were some movements, especially from Mikolev. Mikolev might actually have a chance, but if he thinks he can get the job nailed down and well, actually get the move straight away secure, Mikolev's gonna have at it again. Oh, it looks like Sky is able to just hug the inside line just a bit to be able to defend there at Sky. That's a very good move from Sky. Anyways, coming into the main straight. Coming into the SS there, and right now everyone's just slowly dancing around here as... Well, speaking of which, the lap is currently lap 8, so let's take a look into the race monitor, and right now we are looking at... Not Kizaru Leo though, Rim Olgo, who's going to be pitting in the next 3 laps. Same goes for Yu Chae-yeon. Daniel Barber will be pitting in the next 6 laps. And again, Sakaji Mikolev just wants to overtake, but he's not confident enough in making the move, getting the move done. He really wants that Sakura Amigo car to finish this race. Coming into spoon curve this time, Mikolev might still not be close enough against the likes of Sky. And as you can see here, Mikolev is going to try again. He has a fast car, and speaking of Mikolev, he will have 7 laps left on his current strategy. And Sky only has 8 laps, so they're essentially on equal strategies. And again, Mikolev has to back off. He knows he wants to fight the likes of Sky, but he also, as we mentioned, he also wants to think about finishing this race. So there's a bit of a dilemma on Isakaji Mikolev's mind right now, on which whether or not he is able to get this thing done. Still no changes, but we're going to be paying attention onto Rim Olgo, who's actually kind of extended his gap to around half a second already over he's already had he's already extended his gap to around 0.6 of a second here against So Byung-eun. Momokashu is not far behind in 3rd place. But as you can see here, the race monitor, Rim Olgo is going to be set at the pit in the next 2 laps. So whether or not Rim Olgo could actually make use of this undercut strategy by spending less time in the pit lane and such remains to be seen. But based on what we're seeing in previous races, I don't think that might just be the case. Speaking of which, in the other drivers here, we have Asano and Barger and DuCM. They're chasing each other for 4th place. If Barger can have this 4th place, then he is going to be in an absolutely favorable position to get himself into he's going to be very good to get himself. He's going to be in a very good position to get himself into the Tsuyo Cup for now. Anyways, with lap 10 already passing, here's Rim Olgo already making his move into the pit lane and see where things are going. Speaking of which, that will leave So Byung-eun currently in the race lead for sure in the flare. He's going to need to take this opportunity where he can. Speaking of So Byung-eun, Byung-eun is actually going to be pitting in the next 3 laps. So this is where we are going to be able to see the difference of strategy of these multiple drivers. Looking into other potential battles here, we probably also have some battle packs forming, as was mentioned a lot of times here in the stream. Cheon trying to catch Chucky Reza, but she's too far back. Asano, Barger, and Dusim are also in a stalemate. Coming into the main straight, we also have Cashew and Cheon already getting their time in the pit lane. Here's Rim Olgor, currently in 16th place after, of course, Shadowreza retired from the race at the start, which is absolutely horrible and gut-wrenching, given that he hasn't had a chance to retire like this horribly, especially given his caliber as a driver for him on Mori Luna. So Byung-eun, of course, now has his lead extended with Mama Cashew already winning. Still quiet there for Cheon and Cashew. It's because they're taking a lot of time on that pit lane here, so it's a bit unfortunate that they're going to be losing out probably to Rim Olgor. Speaking of Rim Olgor, here's Rim Olgor already coming into the main straight. Cashew has actually beaten Rim Olgor by strategy, and it's not just going to be it's not just going to be Olgor, I think, but no, Mama Cashew has actually beaten Rim Olgor on strategy. That's why we mentioned here the overcut strategy is going to be the king here. So anyone who's going to be pinning very, very late, like Jet Goodwin, Daniel Goyana, Irie Nakamura, they actually might be able to steal something away from this race. And now we have a confirmation that Byung-eun and Asano have already come into the pits for their service of fuel and tires. So they're going to go head-to-head with the next net leader, that is Mohamed Cashew, who's currently coming through in the second sector and heading himself into Spoon Curve. Lucian now leads the race for the first time since the Tsukuba Super Free Split B race, and right now chasing Daniel Barger. For Daniel Barger, it's also worth something to know. He has actually scored a pole position for Hoshimaki Suisei in the Suzuka Grand Prix in the previous Formula Hololive Japan season. And right now he's aiming to at least right the wrongs of that race by getting himself in a very, very good position to get himself back up in front, and back up near the front. And if he can win this, even better. But his main aim is to at least get himself into the Tsuyo Cup spots. The expectations for the Hoshimaki Suisei car is probably one of the highest, given Suisei's magnitude of popularity and her performance on the stage, as well as, of course, her commitment to the bright uniform being completely obvious for everyone to see. He is actually faster than Daniel Daniel Barger by around a tenth of a second, somewhat, so he's going to be aiming to grab something out. And as you can see here, and as you can see, it's getting quite tight here between Barger and DCM, but you also want to pay attention here. Rim Olgor is set for the end of this race, Cheon as well, So Byung-eun and Mohamed Cashew too. These are the first drivers who have already made their pit stop. Also, Yuta Sano too. He's already made his pit stop as well. And actually, he still hasn't beaten So Byung-eun. So Byung-eun has actually beaten Mama Cashew already. And also Yuta Sano having a very good strategy call to get himself further up front. Also, we have Daniel Barger and Maverick Ducian, the next two leaders who will be called into the pits as we speak. Shakib Reza will inherit the race lead as it stands. Just wanted to check back on the pit stop cycles, and right now Ducian and Barger have already committed their pit stop strategies. Here's So Byung-eun is actually at the hairpin already. So if Ducian and Barger can have a very, very quick turnaround, both of them could beat So Byung-eun, who is currently the net race leader, after Rim Olgor has shown his dominance early on. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see where it goes from here. Ducian, Mikolev and Fumi also committing themselves into pit stops. We have a Gen 5 car as well as a as all of Gen 0 already making their way into the pit lane. And right now the current strategy is favoring the overcutters. So let's see where Fumi, Mikolev, Barger and Ducian are headed towards. So Byung is already coming in into the 130R and the classic triangle. And now coming into the main straight, and we actually have Maverick Ducian beating Daniel Barger. Isagaji Mikolev beats Fumi. And looking at where So Byung-eun is, Ducian has actually managed to beat So Byung-eun. So that is actually 2/5 of Shiraken currently in the net race lead. Well, 2 Shiraken members currently in the top, in the net top 2, but if we're also going to be counting Suisun, which we should, that will make it a Shiraken podium lockout at this rate. And what a great strategy Daniel Barger's had right now, beating Mikolev, Asano, Casio, Fumi, and Olger and Cheon. He's going to be at least secure for a 3rd place run. Daniel Barger now trying to chase at least So Byung-eun and Maverick Ducian. Both of them have already made their pit stops. And as we've seen in the previous race, if you're at least faster by quite the margin against lap cars, you should be able to pass them quite easily, as what Vlad Hadamashnev did on the loop for his 2nd Formula Hololive win of the season. Meanwhile, Jeff Rohan is still in the pits. Looks like, yes, looks like Jeff Rohan is going to be committed until the end of this race. He's not going to be feeling way too much. Meanwhile, here's Maverick Ducian, Byung-eun, Barger, Mikolev. Only 6 drivers have yet to make a pit stop. And meanwhile, we also get to see Jeff Rohan finally coming out. He will exit ahead of Mohamed Casio, just behind Ryuta Asano. So the top spots here have looked very, very different here compared to how we started this race. And for the Minato driver, for Asano, he should at least be okay with the fact that he's probably currently inside a net top 5 at this race. So his eyes are now set on completing this race. Now we have Etsukai and Kizaru Leo pitting, and Shakib Reza continuing on his run inside the lead of this race. So right now he's going to be aiming to get himself some good amount of times up front. Meanwhile, we have Leo and Sky, of course, already coming to the pits. Here's Maverick Ducian against So Byung-eun. Ducian is pushing to at least defend his lead. Again, So Byung-eun is not close enough against Ducian. Here's Kizaru Leo and Etsukai. They have already made their move. Etsukai has already made the move. Kizaru Leo is already making their moves. Etsukai is gonna beat all of them. This guy's beating the race leaders. He's now going to be set to be in the net race lead. His Harleo will at the very least be good enough for third. Whether or not he could block Sobyong, that's very good there for Kizu Harleo. Kizu Harleo up in third. That Sky, your new race leader as it stands. If this is the performance level that we're going to be seeing from these drivers, then look then what's going to be expected for Shakif Reza. Shakif Reza is not going to be pitting until the next 2 laps, and Goyena as well as Jake Goodwin and Irene Nakamura, they will be the last drivers to come into the pit lane. Reza currently in a position where he could steal the race lead from everyone at this rate, but of course nothing is certain and nothing has been final as of yet. Anything can happen. We all thought that it was going to be Kamina Reba who's going to be winning this race. I thought it was going to be Raji Kaczynski in the Split A race. But no, that's not going to be. That wasn't the case for yesterday, as it was actually Vladislav Demashnev who managed to score back-to-back, and that back-to-back win is, of course, very, very popular in the sense of Demashnev. And as for the rest of the drivers here, they're going to be hoping that they're also going to be having some upsets that they will be experiencing soon. Momoshiki Reza, on one hand, is going to be aiming to get himself into the pits, as does Goyena, Goodwin, Nakamura. But as far as the battle of the leaders go, Shaki Reza is going to be facing against the likes of Ed Sky. Ed Sky is currently at the exit of Degner, which will mean that Shaki Reza will have a long way to get himself into the front. Actually, it's going to be Ed Sky is going to have his work cut out just a bit. Right now, what's it going to be for Ed Sky? He's at least trying to get himself in position to attack Shakif Reza, who is going to be set to win his first Formula Hololive race since the Tokachi Super Prix. Here is Ed Sky battling down on the gaps against Shakif Reza. Shaki Reza's already made his move. He's taken the lead of the Nia Super Prix on the race where his brother has fallen down by the wayside. It's the younger one that's going to be taking the reins. Well, Shaki Reza now takes the race lead away from everyone out of their noses. This is exactly kind of like what happened. This is like what happened in the 2 race wins that he's had before. He won by strategy and by cunningness, and by exploiting the gaps that all the drivers had. He's going to be good to score his first win since the Tokachi Super Prix. Strategy has been the name of the game for Shaki Reza if he's going to be set on winning a race. Of course, loves her husbands all the same. She doesn't matter if you are a man, woman, anyone at this rate. If you're an old person, if you if you exist, then you are exactly Nene's husband. And right now, for the case of Mohammad Shakif Reza, he is going to be the man that's going to bring the Momosuzu Nene car to absolutely great things. And I mean, why not? I mean, he has been absolutely good this season so far. He scored a pole position until he was being undone. And right now, he's going to be set to get himself ever so closer to the promised land that is a race win. Shaka Reza has been really controlling himself at this point here in Suzuka, the Mia Super B race. He's gonna put his name amongst the likes of Mohammad Shahid Reza and Zeke Wimberly, and if he does win this race, he will be matching the record for most wins in Formula Hololive alongside Mohammad Shahid Reza, his own brother, and Zeke Wimberly in Formula Hololive in Formula Hololive International. This will be interesting to see how Shakir Reza usually deals with it, but usually he takes a lot of pride in beating his own brother in a one-on-one battle, and right now he is gonna be absolutely excited and giddy at this given opportunity. I mean, why shouldn't you? I mean, as we mentioned, he has been absolutely great this season, Mohammad Shakir Reza, and you know, if he can at least pull this off, it will be a popular win, especially for all the Neckos watching. And so it's going to be very, very nice to see Shakir Reza being up front. But meanwhile, we're also going to be talking about Ed Sky and Maverick Ducien. Currently probably in a battle for second, but as we've seen in the previous races, especially here in Suzuka, races can become processional as there's not much overtaking opportunities after the pit stops. So once you have completed once everyone's completed their pit stops, where they are left to fend off against each other on the track, then it's going to be difficult to actually find some overtakes done. We're looking at some trains being formed, and one of the drivers inside these trains is of course Daniel Barger. Again, why are we talking about Daniel Barger? Because we're talking about Hoshimaki Suisei. Why are we talking about Hoshimaki Suisei? It's because she has been absolutely ripping it since she broke through to the Hololive scene in late 2020. I know she's made her debut in 2018 and has joined Hololive not long after, but there's that one streak where she absolutely introduced herself to the world. That was in late 2020. Yeah. I don't know if Daniel Barger's one of them, and at the very least, if he can secure his 6th place finish, he should be good enough to get himself into the Tsuyo Cup at this rate. With the likes of Fumi down in 14th, Olgord and Cheon down in, not Olgord and Cheon, but Cashew down in 12th, Asano 10th. Should be in a good position to at least get closer to the Tsuyo Cup at this rate. And right now, it's going to be, again, Daniel Barger still finding an opportunity against So Byung-eun, currently in 5th place. Kizura Lee is also having a very, very amazing race. He's done what Shakir Reza has done and come into an overcut strategy, but not to a similar capacity as what Shakir Reza did. But at the very least, it is as commendable as it sounds, given that he is currently very much in position to help secure the Murasaki Shion car in the Tsuyo Cup spot with one race to go. Because that next race is the Sugo Grand Prix qualifiers finale. That race will decide the remaining spots on who will be making the Tsuyo or Zako. Cheon's not having her best race at the moment. She's currently down in 16th. Same goes to Rim Olgor and Ho Fu-mi, currently down at 15th and 14th. Just want to remind everyone, once we're going to start lap 22, we are going to have a slight break just to rest the throat, as again, throat problems are hindering the ability for commentary right now, and I'm just trying to get by here. And now Shakir Reza is going to be crossing the line. He will start lap 22. We're going to stick around for the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka. The race is still on. There might be some battles brewing. Okay, anyways, back here in Suzuka, in the Mie Prefecture for the Mie Super Bowl at Suzuka, and right now it's still Shakib Reza currently leading this race by 15 seconds over Ed Sky. And if you want to talk about lap cars, Yu Chaeyeon is currently at Yestis, Shakib Reza is currently at Spoon Curve. Looking at the previous lap times of the slower drivers out there, they can only be setting 144s, and that mostly came from Hofumi and Rim Olgor, which that's why there's a bit of a hold up at the back. Also, Ref Rohan has been catching up to Mohamed Cashew, which will not help the case for the Kentokus, who are hoping for a bit better. Anyways, just wanted to check on Shakib Reza. He's still doing very fine here with a very good lap. Still maintaining a good gap though to Ed Sky. The gaps haven't really expanded or closed down. Again, apologies for the background audio. Not much that we can avoid there. Anyways, there's still not much really to talk about in this race. Do see him hang on to third place. If he can hang on here, it will at the very least secure his back-to-back podium finishes. Ed Sky will be sure to steal the championship lead away from both Chaeyeon and Shazrin Reza with this buffer that he currently has over the other championship leaders. The other three leaders up front, the three drivers in front, have conveniently been below Ed Sky and in the best positions possible. So if this continues, Ed Sky will actually inherit the championship lead away from Yu Chaeyeon with one race to go. Still barreling down the back straight there, Ed Sky still needing to find a way past Shakib Reza. 1:42.095 for Shakib. Ed Sky currently second for Kazama Iroha. Not every day you can see the Kazama Iroha car ripping through the racetrack very, very efficiently and very, very well. He's currently up in second, as we mentioned earlier. 1:41 for Asano, Nakamura, and Cashew. Only setting slightly faster lap times than Sky and Shakib Reza. Again, stuck behind Daniel Goyena, who is actually forming a train right below. Just taking it easy there on the SS Goyena, just wanting to find some space. Rim Olgor still trying to find a way past Hofumi, still stuck behind this Tokinosora driver. You know, again, I understand why Cover wants to maintain some sort of like making sure their bright uniforms are seeing a lot of appearances as much as possible. They put a lot of work on these uniforms, of course, and all that stuff. And of course, we get lots of Hololive members who also wanted to use the bright uniforms more than the other set of uniforms available. But you know, for these drivers, I would expect that they are able to perform better than what they have been putting at the moment. I mean, just about right, because you know, these cars are essentially expansions, basically the bright uniforms if they were racing cars, and obviously these drivers will also want to represent their next available Oshis. And right now Fumi, of course, represents Tokinosora. Sora is also committed to the bright uniforms to an extent, but right now Fumi's quite down the order, 1.2591 this time for Fumi, as the tracks have now cooled down just a bit. This will allow the tires to get less hot. It cooled down just a bit. Again, we're looking at the same pattern here in Split A. They can't really go above. They can't go below 1/10 of a second between each other unless they're at the back straight coming to 130R. And if there was actually going to be a move there, it might end up in tragedy. Here's Asano trying to get himself close into Goyena, and let's see if the gaps can drop down just enough for Asano to get really close, but right now that's not working to his advantage. Ooh, and Asano really trying to find an opportunity against Goyena, but nothing comes out of it. As you can imagine, we mentioned also these cars actually produce a lot of dirty air in the corners, and that dirty air will actually give less grip to the following cars behind, which at least if the gaps were like 1 second. So the feasibility of trying to get closer by that area is going to be quite limited. Asano still trying to find something against Goyena. Like any other driver, there's not going to be something that he can find. Asano still trying to get something against General Goyena. Is again as close as 0.2 of a second, but nothing still comes out of it. Anyways, let's take a look in the progress charts to see who are the biggest gainers and losers in this race. Rem Olgo, of course, started in second. I believe he started in second and has lost 13 positions at the start due to him coming to was going to be a pretty awkward undercut strategy that didn't work out as planned. Airi Nakamura has done very well to get herself from last place to 11th. Goodwin started 16th, it's now up into 7th. Kizuhara Leo's done very well. That's the biggest gainer in this race. He started 14th, is now up into 4th place, which it will be a saving grace for the Shiokos if he's able to stay where he is at the moment. And let's also not forget Etsuka, who started 10th, and Shakireza, who started 7th. And as for the tires, it's not looking good for Orim Olgo, who is amongst the few drivers who made their first pit stop very early in the race, which it backfired quite. Anyways, the odds of lap cars are actually lower than what we're seeing in Split A, with the spread of performance actually lower in Split B than in Split A. So as far as lap cars are considered, there might not be much. All the drivers are still up to the task. So let's take a look into these trains, and let's just hope that there's some overtakes being done. Duciam just chilling there in third place. Etsuka is just chilling there in second. If he can stay there, he will match his he will actually have his best ever Formula Hololive finish. Duciam not so much. Shakireza will look to get his third career Formula Hololive win. Kizuhara Leo will at the very least try to get closer into the Tsuyo Cup. So does So Byung Eun. Daniel Barg is going to see if he can at least get closer to the Tsuyo Cup than he is at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. You can see here, there's this train right now that covers from 3rd to 6th, and I think only 2.5 seconds separate between these cars, and now this will expand to also Goodwin and Mikolev, so this might get interesting. See how it goes, especially in the final quarter of this race. And And then we have Rib Olgor trying to, again, catch Hofumi. He wants 4 points instead of 1. Fumi wants to defend those 4 points in the hopes that he's able to at least use this point as a cushion if he can win Sugo. And right now you can see here in the rearview mirrors that Rim Olgor is chasing, so is Cheon. Cheon is not at a serious risk to get lapped, as Shakabreza is currently at the exit of Spoon. Cheon is at the end of the S's, and so it's going to work very well there for Cheon to get herself closer. Takane Louis driver is going to be aiming for something, maybe, but she's still too far back. Olgo wants to try to make a move, but there's not much space here in Suzuka, so he has to back off. So trying to get closer to Leo, but the gap's now open up to 7/10 of a second. Daniel Barger's actually gone quite close there to Byung-eun, but he has to think about his options, especially given that he needs a good result. If he tries his luck for 5th, it might end up with nothing at all, and it might come down to nothing. So this is, he's weighing in the risks and the rewards and see where he actually heads himself towards. Barger, really trying to make use of as much track as he can find. Barger still on the hunt against Byung-eun. Byung-eun, of course, still on the hunt against Kizaru Leo. This is where the tire wears are starting to absolutely take into effect. Olgor still able to catch Fumi, but for how much longer he can hang on to. Cheon currently exiting the S's. Shakabreza is currently at the back straight. Again, not much of a chance for lap cars to occur. Not much of a chance for lap cars right now. Guys, this gap to DCM has dropped down to 1.5 seconds. Kizuhara Leo gap to DCM is now open up to 1.1 seconds. Still having to defend against Byung-eun. Byung-eun's catching Leo. Barger's catching Byung-eun. Good win. Nothing still at the moment. Line laps complete here in Suzuka in the Miyasu race split 3 race, and we're still seeing Shakabreza dominating proceedings with a 15-second gap over S-Guys. Not as much as Vladislav Domashov has had, but it's a gap nonetheless, and that gap might actually help him to his 3rd Formula Hololive win, equaling the record for most Formula Hololive wins with his own brother Shazrin Reza and Zeke Wimberly, who actually has 3 wins in Formula Hololive International. But as far as points paying races go, and the wins tally will still go to Mamasha Reza for most wins overall in Formula Hololive, if you actually count the Holo 27-227, which is a invitational race of sorts, and it doesn't really count towards any points, so this race might be meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Then again, if we also have most overall wins, then we also have to put Rustin Caraccio in, because he actually won the Honeyworth Invitational in last March. Anyways, just wanted to check back on the current situation here, and as you can see, Shakareza's gap to Etsky has now closed down to 14 seconds. And so it's still very nervy if you're Shakif Reza, because you might want to think, should I push a bit more to have a better gap, or should I just let it come to me in the final few laps? So right now Shakif Reza is on a set of dilemmas right now. And right now you can see here Sky is actually pulled on, so pull a few seconds back, or actually pulled a second back against Shakif Reza. Shakif Reza actually might have been struggling though in the latter stages here. If Sky is able to catch Shakif Reza and Sky is able to make something work against Shakif, right now this will be very good for Shakif. This is not going to be very good for Shakif. The gap's continuing to drop. Sky is now putting the hammer time now against Shakif Reza. The Kazama Roha driver is going to be trying to get the Kazamatai, if you want to call it that, her fan base, their first win in any aero competitions. Well, any aero competition since the 2022 Okayama postseason knockout race, the qualifying race that was back in 2022. But that was before Roha had any official. 141.594 for Ed Sky. He is absolutely piling on the pressure. The gaps have continued to drop. It was 15 seconds 2 to 3 laps ago. Now it's at now at 13.5 seconds. So Ed Sky is, I think, gaining on Shakif Reza on basically second a lap. But given that he has about 13 laps to deal with, it's going to be touch and go right until the end, so it's not going to be over until it's over. Meanwhile, at the further back, we have Kizura Leo trying to catch Duciem. Duciem is having a very decent gap here. And right now, if Duciem can stay where he is right now, he should be able to also usurp second place away from Algor Cheon and Shazin Reza. Currently, they will have their work cut out in the final race of the qualifiers at Sugo. Anyways, Kizura Leo's trying to catch himself, trying to find himself a good medium against both Duciem and Byung-eun. Almost equal in terms of the gap between the two, and you can see here again, these cars have no problems at 130R. No problem. Anyways, we're about to cross into the final quarter of this race, and now Shakif Reza has some pace back to match Ed Sky. Ed Sky is going to be trying his absolute best to try to catch up to Shakif Reza in case anything happens. Also a bit of a ditto. Anyways, just wanted to check on the this one. Just wanted to hang on. Just wanted to remind you all that we're going to be having a short break here, as we're going to rest the road once again, as we're about to start lap 34. So, anyways, I hope everyone will be able to stay tuned here, because right now we might be seeing a battle between Liu and Duciem. So, for everyone, let's just hope that they're able to stay tuned. Again, we apologize for the higher delay in the longer delay in the commentary, as there's some disturbances in the booth right now. We're just gonna try to explain to you what's currently happening. As of right now, we have Ed Sky still behind Momashaki Reza by around 13 seconds. No differences. Again, we apologize for the extended delays in the commentary. Again, so many disturbances in the commentary booth right now. And again, I'm the only one in the commentary booth. So again, I can only apologize. I'm trying my absolute best here. So again, excuse us if there's any commentary disruptions and if there's a lot of extended silence in the commentary, again, excuse us. There's not much that we can do to avoid it. Again, we just wanted to share with you what's currently happening in the scene here. Again, Fumi, Olgor, and Cheon are currently stuck between each other. Not much differences in between anyone here at this rate. So again, just wanted to check back on the current situation here, and it's still nothing much changing though. Dusiam now trying to probably defend against Kizuhara Leo, but Kizuhara Leo is still too far back to probably mount a actual charge, so nothing comes out of it for now for the likes of Leo. We are now coming into 8 laps to go. Wei Shakake Reza still in control of this race over at Sky. Let's see if there's something out of this race in the final stages, as like for example Kamiya Rebuz's crash with Johan Sinful, but I am not going to absolutely count it out. So right now we are just going to see if there's anything coming out of it in the final stages. Anyways, just checking on the current state of affairs here again. There's really nothing much to talk about, at least in this race, and right now I'm probably the only one in this stream altogether, so I'm not sure if there's anything really much to talk about, but I really want to keep this commentary pretty much open. But again, right now, again, we're still trying to work with what we got here. Right now, if the race is still processing as okay, not much to talk about here at the moment, but let's just hope that there is something of substance coming into the final stages of this race. Now looking at how there's not much overtaking action there. Just want to check around Kizuhara Leo again, still stuck behind this CM. So let's take a look back into the progress charts to see what has been going on. We got check again. Kizaru Leo gaining the most positions out of anyone so far. He's of course started 14th. He's now up into 10th place. So very much a nice thing for all the Shiokos watching. And again, Shaki Reza, who started 7th, who is now in the race lead altogether. And then we also have the likes of Jay Goodwin, who started 16th, who is now up into 7th, and Irie Nakamura, who started last, who is now up into 11th to probably salvage something from this race. So again, overall it ends well for the drivers that we've mentioned, but let's say for Hofumi, who really needed a result here in Suzuka, he is not going to be in position to qualify for the Tsuyo Cup at this rate. He is qualified for the Tsuyo Series, that's one thing for sure. But as far as Takano Sora is probably concerned, who is actually committed to the bright uniform, it's probably not going to be enough. Anyways, the current lap order is currently coming into like, how do you say this? Just want to check. 86 laps to go here in Suzuka for the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka. And right now we're just gonna be chilling here because Shaka Vesa is still pretty much in control of this race, so and just want to check back. Right now it's still much of a procession between Duciem, Leo, Byung, and Barger, Goodwin, Mikolev, Goyena, Asano, and Nakamura, and Kashi are going to be set to catch up as well. Rohan's currently having a very quiet race. Just a note, he's currently down. He's currently down in 14th place. 13th place there, Jeff Rohan. Again, a quiet race for Jeff Rohan though. He might actually want to expect better in this round, but right now nothing is really coming out of it. And right now he's just doing okay here at the moment. Jeff Rohan just taking his time. The Kenzokas might not be happy of this result, but the very least I can take pride that Toa is at least being represented here. Anyways, we're coming into 5 laps to go here in Suzuka for the end of the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka. And right now they're doing everything in their power to essentially, how do we say this, continue on as usual with their current positions here. I don't think anyone's going to be risking a late lunch for the sake of it, because they probably know that if there's any like too bold of a move happening, then they can end up with absolutely nothing. So it's a risk that all of them are currently weighing on, and right now everyone just wants to agree. I think everyone has agreed to each other that for these last 5 laps, and actually throughout the duration of the race after pit stops, they're all just going to be laying themselves back and not causing each other trouble, especially what happened to the Split A race. So everyone's not going to be tripping onto their toes as much, although ideally they will want to make their moves, but everyone also knows that there are limits to these moves. I know it is supposed to be a showcase of racing, but right now it's not as what some of them are intending. So anyways, final 4 laps here in Suzuka for the Mia Super Prix. Right now, we are still looking at and right now we're still having no changes in any of the standings here. You know, this stream can also be treated as basically ASMR stream for the sound of Super Formula cars and programming to the racetrack. At Sky, still going on course to have a good result for Kazamayu Roha, and of course the gap has actually opened up to Shakev Reza. It's now back to 15 seconds. There was a bit of a scare though in the last 10 laps when Shakev was somewhat slowed a bit, and that kind of opened the door for Sky to kind of catch up like this one. But it's just a case of lap times ebbing and flowing, and it's currently in the favor of Mohamed Shakev Reza. And yes, I know the Super Formula race is starting soon in the next 2 minutes. But right now we're going to be focused on trying to end the race here in Suzuka to allow the guys in Fuji to host their Super GT race. So if you want to watch some more motorsports other than the Formula Hololive race here in Suzuka, the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka, there's also the Super GT round at Fuji, which you should all be excited for. If you have the ability to watch that race, then go ahead and tune it. But for now, we're just going to be focusing on our end, and right now, of course, Barger's still trying to find a way past Sobyang Un, but again, we've mentioned about the risk and reward factor that we have been mentioning throughout the stream. And right now, they don't want to risk it. They've already had some gains. Again, if you look at Daniel Barger in the progress starts, he hasn't really lost a position. I think he's the only, he is the only driver to have had a similar position where he started or where he is right now, other than Jeff Rohan, who's stuck in 13th, unfortunately. And right now, looking into the running order here, Shakev Reza is about to start the penultimate lap of this race in the best seat of the house for Momosu Zunene. And in a race where his own brother crashed out even before they've actually crossed the line to start lap 1, Shakev Reza has got to think that this has got to be one of his most emphatic wins possible. He's had a history of rubbing it on his rivals' face as he won. Humility isn't something that Shakev Reza has. I would like to be honest. When he takes his win, he will take it with extreme pride, especially given that he's actually winning it for his Oshi. The Nekos are gotta be excited to see this one, as he only has about 1.5 laps to secure the deal for Momosu Zunene to put himself in the running order to get himself into the Tsuyo Cup. But more importantly, to make sure that he has won over his brother and also have him win one of the Formula Hololive races here in Suzuka, which his brother has yet to do, and also to give him the edge in the total wins tally. And if he wins, as we mentioned here in Suzuka, which he's on course to doing so, he will match both Shakev Reza and Zeke Wimbley for most points-paying Formula Hololive wins. And of course, Shakev Reza has got to be very excited for that. And of course, Momosu Zunene probably watching this stream from somewhere, I don't know. It's going to be enjoying this moment. Final lap has already started for Mohamed Shakev Reza. Super GT race has probably already started here, but we're going to be focusing on the final lap here. If there's any final lap battles that may need to be done, it should be done now. Shakev Reza just needs to stay calm on these next few sectors. He has enough of a gap against Sky. If anything goes wrong, Shakev Reza might be able to use that 15-second gap. But then again, it depends on the severity of the problem. But right now, Shakev Reza is having no problems at the moment. Started 7th, gained 6 positions through pit strategy, and is now leading this race where his brother has crashed at the wayside. And with this win probably being one of his most important, he's got to be enjoying it to no end, actually, like no tomorrow. If he thinks his wins at Autopolis and Tokachi last season were great, this will absolutely beat it to the ground. Sure, it may only still be a Super Prix, but if he can still mount something against his own brother, then he'll be able to take it. If it means sharing the top spot for the wins record, at least for points, then he will take it. Exiting 130R and coming into the Casio Triangle, Shakir Reza with a masterful strategy call to get himself up front. Exits the Casio Triangle, and for the third time for Momo Suzunene and for the Nekos watching, Shakir Reza is going to cross the line to win the Formula Hololive race. He wins the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka. That guy is already coming across the start-finish line to bring his best finish for Kazama Iroha. With a second place finish, Duciem hangs on in third for Marapolka, what should be back-to-back podium finishes for Polka. Leo finishes fourth for Shion in an effort for him to get himself back into the Tsuyo. So Byung-eun will also do the same thing. Daniel Barger as well. Goodwin, Mikalev, and Goyena might be seeing some doubts here. As we can see here, Asano scores his first top 10 finish in his aero career. Nakamura 11, Cashew 12, Rohan 13th. Fumi is going to set to be finishing 14th, Olger 15th, and Cheon set to finish 16th. What can you say about Shakir Reza? He's absolutely relishing the moment where he's able to win a Formula Hololive race for the third time. And of course, he's doing it in a way that is very, very convincing, and then also in the same race where his brother crashed. He's got to be very excited for that. I mean, as far as siblings go, he's got to be taking this win as it is. So anyways, let's take a look into the final race results. Momo Shakir Reza takes the checkers here in the Mia Super Race B race for Momo Suzunene. Etsky finishes second for Kazama Iroha. Maverick DCM finishes third for Omar Polka in what would be back-to-back podium finishes. Kizora Leo fourth for Shion. So Byung-eun fifth for Flair. Margaret finishes sixth for Suisei. Goodwin seventh for Mio. Mikalev eighth for Miko. Daniel Goyena 9 for Usara Pecora, which will make it a Pecco Miko 8th and 9th. Hyuta Sano finishes 10th for Minato Aqua. He now opens his he now gets the Minato Aqua car further forward, but will it be enough for them to qualify to the Tsuyo Cup? Ayu Nakamura 11 for Akaya Hato. Cashew 12 for Watame. Rohan 13th for Toa. Fumi 14 for Sora. Rim Olga 15 for Subaru. 16 goes to Yu Chaeyeon as she fails to score points, I believe, for the first time this season. Actually, no, she has scored. This is, I think, the second time she has failed to score points. And Momo Shakir Reza agonizingly crashes out right at the start of the race. Very, very unfortunate for him. But at this point, he doesn't really want to care too much, as there's already set to win what needed to win, what needed to be won. So just wanted to check back on the things, see if we can like get the replays in. So just wanted to check what happened at the start of the race. I really want to check the replay as to what happened to Shazrin. So this is the best of the shots that we can take right now. So just wanted to get the replays here to see when it actually started. So here is when it started. Here's Momo Shakir Reza's on board as it happened. So if we want to see what happened to Shakir Reza, I just wanted to adjust something. So here is Shakir Reza as he is about to start the race. Just wanted to check the thing on. So here is Shakir Reza already starting to get himself lined up. He was starting fifth on the outside line coming to third one. Here's Shakir Reza revving his engine. Oh, puts too much power on the throttle. Hits Daniel Barger. Oh, that's very, very unfortunate for Shazrin. So anyways, I want to check an extra angle to see what exactly happened. Just want to check on the outboard. Just want to check on the outboard settings here. So you can see here. Here's Reza. Of course, he puts too much power on the throttle, hits Daniel Barger at the side. Fortunately, Barger doesn't end up with too much damage. But for Reza, that is his race done and dusted before he even manages to cross the line. And also just wanted to check on Daniel Barger's onboard, just to see what has happened to the Hoshiyomi driver. So here's, just wanted to check on, just want to see if there's any like, okay, so here is a good onboard angle of the start line crash. Here's Daniel Barger. Oh, got hit at the front there, Barger. But fortunately for Barger, he's able to continue like normal. And fortunately, he's able to continue as he did. So anyways, we're going to get on to the final, we're going to get on to the points tally with one race to go. The Sugo Grand Prix finale, which will be coming up soon. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to manually record the points tally as we cannot load it through Content Manager. So we're gonna have to end the stream here. Again, we apologize for the unnecessary amounts of background audio. There's just so much I could do solo. So that being said, we're gonna have to do a recount on the points tally. And this is going to take some time to process, so hopefully everyone will be able to tune into YouTube's updates, YouTube's community tabs, and Twitter for all your updates. That being said, we apologize for the massive amount of disturbances and lack of commentary for as much as I can give you. Again, hopefully everyone is at least able to still enjoy the stream as it is. Again, I'm Omasha Reza in the commentary booth. You've been watching the Mia Super at Suzuka. We hope everyone is able to focus on the next race at Sugo for Formula Hololive Japan. That's where the final spots for the Tsuyo Cup will be decided. So hope everyone is able to tune in by that time. So and until then, see you around.